Hi, are you thinking about downsizing but aren't sure if it's the right fit for you or your family? Or even where to begin? Well, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to determine if downsizing is right for you and the difficulties, or at least some of the difficulties that you'll encounter once you've made this decision and how to overcome those difficulties. So, for many people, the thought of going from their big home with all their belongings and all their memories that they've collected over the years and moving to a little home is overwhelming. And it is. I've done this twice. It's not easy. It's the hardest of the moves to make. So that's why you really need to do your research and determine if it is a fit for you. The truth is, downsizing isn't about giving up. It's about making space for the life you want so that you can go from holding on to living and loving life. That's the goal. Have a better life. So first we have to determine if downsizing is right for you. And to do this, we need to look at what you're going to gain in time, money, and quality of life. So if you're not going to save enough time, money, or you're not going to improve your quality of life, then maybe downsizing isn't for you, especially if your home has already the right room configurations and is in the location you want. So let's take a look at what you're going to save first. A smaller home means less maintenance, which means more time for family, travel, and hobbies, which will help you have the life you want, right? Lower expenses free up resources for experiences. So now you have the funds to go play golf. You have the funds to go to dinner, to take the kids somewhere on a trip. Okay, so here are some of your costs and time, right? Pool maintenance, costs to run the motor, mowing costs, water bills, fertilizer, tree trimming, mulch, and the big ones, property tax and insurance, just to name a few. You may have more expenses. You might have tax on your water, your HOAs. You need to add all those up. So now you put these costs to paper, and I can tell you that in large yards with big flower beds, your costs can be significant. I had a property that was just over 2 acres, 2 1/3. I had sprinklers, like a 24-zone sprinkler system, and it cost me $1,000 a month during the peak watering season, probably about $350 a month off season to take care of that. Mulch was probably about $3,000 to mulch my yard, and we spent thousands on tree trimming because we had dozens of mature trees, oaks and elms, that we could not trim ourselves and remove all the everything from, and we'd have them die, and we have branches that would fall and kill someone. So yes, it's expensive. Think of those costs. Our pool costs $180 a month, and these are all going to vary by location and where you are. And I paid somebody to mow because we didn't want to spend a day mowing our yard. So I paid $75 a mow for someone to come out, and they did trim my hedges, and actually that was an amazing rate. Since then, we've moved into a 7,000 square foot lot, and we have a $150 a month water bill at peak water season. I pay $60 a month to mow. They mow twice a month. I don't need it really more than that. And we trim our own trees. We have 7 trees, I think, or 5 on this property. So yeah, my husband and I can trim them ourselves. They're not fully mature. We can reach what we need to. And even if we do have someone come out, it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg. And the mulch, I can mulch it myself, but I did pay someone to do my back because it was so many bags of mulch that I needed. I paid someone to come out, but it was like $1,000 and not $3,000. And what about mulch? Well, you want to mulch because otherwise you're spending all your time weeding. Without the mulch, your weeds are going to be out of control, and it keeps your water bill will be through the roof because that mulch holds moisture in. So, I know I'm talking about mulch, but it really is kind of a hidden expense that people don't talk about. And as far as our property tax, I saved about $10,000 a year on my property taxes. And of course, my homeowner insurance went down as well. And I lost a water tax, but I did gain an HOA, so it's kind of a little bit of a wash there. The fact is, these savings are real and they're tangible, and that's why I'm telling you, get your pen and paper out because you won't believe the expense. And we'll talk about even maintenance. For example, on a 4,500 square foot home, I had 3 AC units. Now I have 2. So future replacement costs, you have to look at all of that. So yeah, all of that take into consideration. And more on home maintenance. Do you need a bathroom for every bedroom, or would a shared bathroom be sufficient? Do you need all the rooms that hold all this furniture that need to be cleaned, and you have to pay to clean? Even if you clean them once a month, you're still thinking about it, right? That weight of the thought and of the actual work. Are you heating and cooling all of these spaces that you don't need? Is your home where you want it to be? Is it by the golf course, by the lake, by the ocean? Is it in a complex or in a neighborhood with the amenities that you want? And then, of course, you have the big one. your home equity. Is it enough to maybe, if you sold your home, pay cash for a smaller home and not have a mortgage? Or is it enough to maybe put a significant amount down and invest the rest? So if you're coming out with enough money, enough rewards, enough gains, and you've decided, yes, downsizing is the right move for me, then let's take a look at how we do that. My name is Donna Sitton. I'm a local realtor here in Houston. And if you're finding this video helpful, then please hit the like and subscribe button or share it with somebody who might find it helpful. And if you're looking to move in the next 9 to 90 days, I'd love to help you find your perfect place to call home here in Houston. I make videos like this all the time, and I put them out there for you, and hopefully you find them enjoyable. And if there's something you want me to do differently, or if you have a comment on this video, please put it in the comments, give feedback. I really do appreciate it. Or if you have a question on anything I've talked about, go ahead and reach out to me. I'd love to help you, even just answer questions. All right, back to downsizing and right sizing. So once you've decided to downsize, the fun really starts. You're going to envision the life you want. Where do you want to live? Do you want to be by family? Do you have to make a big geographical change? Do you want to be by water or on a golf course in a sailing community? What amenities do you want to have? Do you want to have golf, tennis, pickleball, maybe a play yard for the kids or a kid pool because you've got grandkids, or you might still have kids at home? This is the most important question, and you need to spend the most amount of time on it, because this is going to be your biggest motivator, and it's going to be very important to get it right. So you're going to want to try to think maybe 10 years down the line or a few years down the line and think, gosh, will I have parents moving in with me? Will I have kids coming back from college? Will I have grandkids will be coming over? Or do I need to be by doctors? These are all big things to consider so that you pick the right location and you don't move somewhere and then 5 years later have to pick up and move somewhere else. I mean, that's always, you can't predict everything, but it is a good idea to really go through it and think it through so that you make minimal errors. Think of the size of the home you want and what and how many rooms you need, how big they need to be, when will you use them, how many times a year you use them. Maybe instead of a game room and 3 bedrooms upstairs, you could have a loft with Murphy bed. When people aren't staying there, the Murphy bed's full up, and you have a really nice game room that you can use, that's clean, that's neat, that isn't just dedicated to being a bedroom. I can tell you I've had Murphy beds in 2 of my homes, and I love them. So long as you have a good mattress on those Murphy beds, they work exceptionally well for the guests. And again, you just fold them up into the walls, and they have some that go into the ceilings and things like that, but you can just buy the cheap ones that you put up into the walls. You can buy them and paint them if you don't like the colors, but either way, if you do that, you get to keep maybe, like I said, a game room, a study, something like that the rest of the year as a useful space for you, that you're not just cleaning an empty bedroom for 11 and a half months out of the year. Or, you can think outside the box. You could say, get an Airbnb when you have company and just have a big family vacation, even if it's in town, even if it's just, down the street or in downtown instead of at your house, and make different memories. Or what if you put them up in a hotel while they come to visit? You're saving enough money, you could afford that at this point. What if you use your formal dining room only a couple times a year? Maybe you ought to replace it with a large kitchen island and a breakfast area. What kind of outdoor space do you want? Do you currently have a pool and outdoor kitchen and fire pit and garden? And if so, how often do you use it? Leave out what you don't use and include what you want, right? Moving into the right size home can mean more comfort, less stress, and a lifestyle that actually fits where you are in your life today, or where in your life you want to be. That's the goal, right? So the emotional side. The reality is this isn't easy for anyone. Moving is hard. It's emotionally draining. It's physically draining. It's costly. I mean, frankly, I'm surprised anybody moves, because it is exhausting. And I think it's more so exhausting for people downsizing, because they have to go through so much. They have to let go of so much, right? When you're upsizing, oh my gosh, you don't think, oh, should I take this? You just take it, because you'll find room for it somewhere, right? But when you're downsizing, you have to look at everything and really think, do you want to take this? Additionally, it's emotional because the house isn't just walls. It's where memories were made. It's a reflection of your life and what you've built. But remember, memories move with you, and you're free to design a different life. Downsizing is about keeping what matters and letting go of the rest. It's shifting the focus from what you own to how you want to live. But memories and identities are not just tied up in the house. They're tied up in the furnishings and in the stuff inside the house. So here are a few emotions that I find we have wrapped up in our furniture and things. And I have these wrapped up. So, I mean, this is personal experience too. Identity, rooms, number of TVs, furniture, a large lot, pool can be a symbol of wealth and status, right? Family heirlooms, family history, things that were handed down through generations or just one generation. And they may not be loved or fit in your decor, but you feel guilty letting them go, right? So see if anyone in your family wants them. If no one wants them, let them go. And then don't feel bad about it, because sometimes letting go feels like letting go of someone. And the way that you can kind of stop that feeling from happening is if you keep items that have meaning to you too. Whoever gave it to you is gone, and they wouldn't want you to be weighted down by an item they owned and loved. No. It's okay to not like what they loved or to outgrow it because it's past its useful life, but you feel like you have to hang on to it because they gave it to you. Just think, if you have such a hard time parting with something, how much more of a hard time will your kids have? Do not pass that weight on to them. Next, you have the cost of replacement, right? Some items are hard to let go because you think, oh, I paid so much for this and I can't replace it. Or what if I need it again? Or I can't sell it for what I got for it. Well, here's the news. You aren't going to get anything near what you paid for it. And you'll probably have to give some of it away. But here's the deal. Are you going to move that? I'll give you an example. I had a house that I had a game table and a pool table and theater furniture that I just bought for that house. And then, 7 years later we moved and I had to sell all of it. And that was a lot of money tied up in that furniture. And it was hard. I basically sold it with the house or gave some to some people. But during the time that we lived there, we used it and we loved it. And I have to think of it that way. I have to think, you know what? It served its purpose. It served us well. It served my family well. And it's time to let it go. The truth is, you aren't going to miss what you don't have room for now. And if you feel like you're going to miss it, if it's that important, then take it. But try, really, really try to just let it go. There's also the fact that people take many years acquiring things to maybe finish out the room, or they just found this perfect piece to go in this perfect shelf and arrangement, or they have collections. And so they have these pieces that are like art for them, or that they just feel like, gosh, I finally got it together, and they don't want to let it go. Or maybe you won't be able to replace them. So ask yourself this question. Is it worth hanging on to if I have to sacrifice the life I want? That's it. If the answer is yes, keep it. If it's no, then let it go. Don't move the boxes of things from one home to another. You don't want to clutter your next life with what you were cluttered down, because you're going to a smaller space. It's going to be even more cluttered than it is now. So did you know the average household has over 300,000 items in it? European households have over 10,000. That's such a big difference in numbers. That number comes from the NPR, just if you were interested. And yes, you'll lay your hands on every single one of these items. You're either cleaning them, looking for them, storing them, or forgetting you own them, or buying them, or putting off going through them. All this causes mental weight and chains that grow heavier with time. So let it go. Get moving. Not everything has value and purpose. Use the rule that if you have not used it for a while, or it doesn't have purpose or bring you joy, then let it go. Here's some tips to make it easier. Start early. Give yourself years. If your kids are in high school, maybe you have years, or at least months in advance to do this, right? Sort with purpose. Ask yourself, do I use it? Do I love it? If not, it might be time to let it go. Keep the best, not the most. Choose the pieces that carry meaning, not everything you've collected, or the prettiest pieces. Digitize your memories, scan photos, things like that. I still like my photo album, so I'm going to still have my paper, but you don't want to be storing boxes of paper, right? So you want to have someplace nice that you can put those albums. Plan for your next space. Measure the spaces. Visualize your furniture in it. Think of your favorite pieces that you want to take with you and how they're going to fit in your home. All right, so we've gone through whether this is a fit for you, how to determine if it's a fit, and some obstacles that you'll encounter once you start the process. It sounds like a lot, and it sounds daunting, and it is. But again, you gain when you downsize. You gain freedom from yard work, from high utility bills, from too much space to clean, right? Mental weight. And what you gain is time to travel, time to spend with family, time to enjoy the next chapter of your life or your hobbies. Moving is hard. It's emotional, it's physical, it's mental, it's all very draining, and it's expensive. So do your homework and make sure it is the right move for you and your family to make. And then make it fun. So if you're ready to go from holding on to living and loving life, downsizing might be the perfect next step for you. And if you're considering a move here to the Houston area, whether you're retiring, relocating, or simply simplifying your life, I'd love to help you make that transition as smooth and stress-free as possible. Call me, text me, schedule a Zoom call, whatever works for you. My contact information is below in the comments. And if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. And take care for now, and I look forward to seeing you around. Bye.